Radio Northampton.
Do stick with us, because otherwise you'll miss out, I promise you. Welcome to the programme here on BBC Radio Northampton. The Northampton Punjabi Association, or the NPA, is a local community group celebrating the Punjabi culture, with events to raise money for worthy charity causes. The association was set up by Amrit Mataru and her father, and on Monday of next week they're off to India to set up medical camps. Amrit is on the line from our Birmingham studio this afternoon. Amrit, good afternoon, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you?
Very well indeed. Fascinated to hear about the Punjabi Association. I thought it was going to be one of those big national organisations which has got branches all over the UK. Instead, you're it, pretty much.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's 12 of us in the committee. It started off in 2013, to be frank. I was still at university. I was only 21 at the time. My dad and I were really keen volunteers with the Sikh Union over in Coventry, who are a similar group. And we were really inspired by, you know, the community vibe that they had over there. They were bringing together the Punjabi community along with all the other communities in Coventry. We just really were passionate to get something going like this over in Northampton.
So, by comparison in that case, if there is a very strong Sikh community and a strong sense of community, does that mean that you couldn't find the same kind of sense or the same promotion of that sense of culture here in Northampton itself?
No, I think, well, we had this idea. I'm quite naturally good at organising get-togethers and events. So when we shared this idea with family and friends, people were really keen to get involved and they were interested. So with that, we were able to set up the community and here we are.
Now, the Punjab is a region in India. So what is Punjabi culture for somebody who's not from the Punjab and who may not actually know any Punjabis here in Northampton?
Well, we have lots of people who support us from the Christian faith and the Muslim faith and the Hindu faith. A lot of our supporters love to come along to these events to get involved with the Indian food, the Bhangra dancing and the music, and have a great time.
It's fascinating how food seems to be the mechanism which brings different cultural groups. I don't say it to be trite. I mean, get the African community together. Food is often the thing which is, if you like, the invitation to come and to join in, to share food is a great way of sharing within cultures. The Punjabi community, the Sikh community, clearly does the same thing as well. How well received were you as an association when you started that and when you started reaching out in that way?
So when we first started, our first event in 2013, we raised, it's a small amount, £700. It was still made a massive difference. And through that, as word spread, a lot more people got involved and wanted to come and contribute and donate. We altogether, from 2013 to now where we stand today, we've managed to raise over £4,000.
That's great going. That's great going. That must also be a great way of developing pride in the community if you can grow something organically in that way. And then over a period of time say, look what we've put in. Look how we've been facilitating the community, bringing people in to be part of something. And of course, celebrating the Punjabi region and the culture that you were just talking about.
Definitely. I mean, it's really, I feel really proud to know that we started so small and now we're able to grow and keep growing, because it's all about the community spirit and getting people involved, and that's what we want to achieve. We want to celebrate that community spirit.
Last year there was a multicultural event which took place in Northampton. It's repeating. It's happening again here in the Market Square. I think it's going to be a daytime event rather than a daytime and an evening event. You said that you've got Christian, English supporters, you've got sponsors from the Muslim and the Hindu backgrounds as well. How important is it to be multi-faith as well as multicultural?
I think it's like an amalgamation of all the different religions and faiths put together that are able to, because at the end of the day, following a religion, it makes you a better person, and with that, you're able to celebrate humanity and doing good deeds, and charity is key of that.
How much time does this take up for you?
It's pretty much a 24/7 job. So
really?
I'm running the social media, I generate ideas, I try and gather all of our members together for a meeting, And my parents are pretty much key members of this as well. Even when we're having meetings, my mum's running in the doors with a tray of tea, and she's saying, "Come on, everyone, have a cup of tea," when we're trying to get down to business.
There you go. It's the sharing. It's the sharing of food. It's the sharing of drink.
The sharing and caring, of course.
Well, that sharing and caring is going to be going truly international in the near future. And if people think that we're just talking about Northampton and Northamptonshire, you've set your sights very high indeed, because next week you're taking a bit of a journey, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got 3 very busy weeks ahead of us.
Tell me a little bit about where you're going and why.
Okay, so at our last event, we had nominated 4 different causes that we wanted to donate to and support. Every event that we have 2 a year. We like to mix up our charities, so we're able to spread our message and do good and make difference to people's lives in lots of different areas. So firstly, we'll be accompanying the Sikh Union, who I mentioned earlier, who are our partners, in 2 of their international projects. The first one will be their 6th eye camp in the Punjab. And we're also going to be setting up our very first one in Kapurthala, which is another area of Punjab. So the money that we've been able to raise, we're paying for a team of medical staff to perform cataract and other eye surgeries on poor villages and people that can't really afford eye care. So this is able to make it accessible to those people that can't get it.
Is eye care a particularly prevalent issue in the Punjab?
Yeah, so our doctor, Dr. Jacob, who I'd spoke with last time I went out into India last year, he told me that India has one of the highest eye care cases in the world.
Is there any reason why that is the case?
I'm not sure of the correlation between that. That's something I can find out this year, because I'm really interested to know why we have such a high level of eye care needed in India. So that I can get back to you on that one. I think that's really important to know.
In that case, the door is open. We'll be delighted to hear about it. I have heard about medical ships going off. I think it was Africa that I saw a documentary about, with an eye ship that goes. It goes around the coastline. It moors up. It harbours, and almost 24/7. There's a constant stream of people going up the gangplank, having eye surgery, certainly having eye care, and then they're sent back, and life continues, and it dramatically improves their quality of life. You're presumably going deep into India, into the Punjab, to go and support this eye camp, and for a 6th time the eye camps are going to be on site for people to massively improve the quality of their lives.
Yeah, so we have people travel from villages all over that come to use this facility because it's completely free to the patients. I remember a lady last year, she came and I was speaking to her, and she was telling me how not only her eyesight was poor, but that was affecting her hearing. And I noticed a bandage on her arm, and I said to her, "What's this bandage for?" And she said, "For the conditions that we live in, my arm hurts me so much that it's the bones and that it's all hurting me." So at the eye camps, it's not just that we provide them with eye care, they're also given a healthcare check as well, and we were able to give her vitamins for her health.
That's quite a remarkable gesture that you're able to offer. On March the 13th, it's Comic Relief, and lots of people will be seeing lots of films and recorded pieces from third world countries, not only India, other areas of the world as well, where people live in absolutely crushing poverty.
Definitely.
Undoubtedly, people will be reaching for the tissues. People will be very generous, because they always are for Comic Relief, but it's the people who go out and make the movies who perhaps suddenly understand the reality of what it's like on the ground. Are you prepared for that yourself, Amrit?
So last year I attended the eye camp, their 5th eye camp, and it was an eye-opener. No pun intended. It was definitely an eye-opener. I mean, there was young children, not even just elderly people. There was young children. I remember a little girl whose eyesight was so poor, deteriorated, that the doctors were unable to do anything for her, because it was just the fact that she was going to go blind. There was nothing we could do for her, and it was so sad. And these people come to the eye camps really, as if we're going to magically fix them. They just want glasses. They think that's going to be the saviour of their problem, and it's the understanding that they don't have, and it's quite sad. It's when you see that out there, but at the same time, it's rewarding that you're able to go there and help the people that you can help.
And being able to see, has all kinds of knock-on implications, because if you can see, you can work. If you can work, you can earn a living. If you can earn a living, then you're not destitute. You can also start to provide for your family. Something as simple as a pair of glasses, which you and I might walk down the high street, I'll just go and get some glasses. Or I might even go and get some more glasses because I want to be fashionable. For these people, a pair of glasses is literally the difference between being able to provide for your family and not.
Yeah, it gave me a reality check for when all the times I look in the mirror and think I want my contact lenses in.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. It's just phenomenal.
What does it tell you, as a young woman living here in the UK, when you go to India, when you see that kind of reality, when you come back here and you're celebrating Punjabi culture, and yet there are people in the Punjab who are in that kind of poverty? I know we have poverty here in the UK, of course we do, but it's a different kind of poverty in India. How does it make you feel when you come back here?
It is a different kind of poverty, and I think coming back to my life living in my lovely house in Northampton and being with my family, it makes you appreciate what you really have, and there's nothing more than being able to appreciate it, because then you're able to, it gives you a whole different life experience and an outlook on life, and to be able to help people, not just people across the world, but when you see someone on the street or you want to help someone, I think it's a massive learning curve, and it's really important for people to get involved in, I think.
What's it going to cost you to take part in this, Amrit? Are you paying for it out of your own pocket? Are you paying for it through the NPA, or what? Well,
so all the donations we receive as the NPA go solely to the causes that we go to visit and the charities we help. So the trips itself that we take every year is completely self-funded.
And you're taking holiday, presumably, to go and do this too, or are you being given leave of absence?
Yeah, so I've taken leave from my work to go, and so are the rest of the volunteers that are also coming with us.
Quite a commitment in that case. When you come back to the UK, having helped out with this 6th I mission, the I camp in Punjab, what will you be doing? Will you be bringing back messages? Will you be bringing back a sense of what it was like out there? Will you be being able to perhaps give some talks so that people can find out exactly what life was like out there?
Yeah, so while I'm out there, we're actually going to be filming some footage and bringing back all the evidence to show our members and people that want to support us about the kind of work that we're doing and what we're trying to achieve and the people we're helping. So as well as the iCamp, shortly after, we're also going to be visiting an orphanage project that the Sikh Union are leaders of. There's 2 orphanages in Etah and Delhi, and there's Catholic nuns who volunteer to look after girls who have come from poor families or really traumatic experience where they've been abused, turned to crime, even, worst cases, prostitution. So these girls are taken in and cared for. So the money that we've raised is going towards structural work to make the building safe, because previously toilet doors were hanging off the walls, there was damp, and it just wasn't safe. They were cooking on a traditional coal and wood fire, so we were able to give them food and gas to cook with as well. So that's another part of the charity mission we're going on, as well as visiting another orphanage called the Unique Home for Girls in Punjab. And they're called the Unique Home because they really are unique. They have a facility for where unwanted babies, female babies, are able to be left in a cradle, and then the volunteers at the orphanage take them and bring them up throughout their childhood to adulthood, because female infanticide is a huge, huge problem in India. So it's just amazing to see the different types of work that we can go out and help.
This must, for you, be a real conflict, I suppose, because you do lead a much more comfortable life here in the UK. You see people having very difficult lives, and it's not just poverty, as you've just said. There are people whose whole lives are affected by whether or not they have parents that still have them as children. Do you perceive that there is going to be a change in the poverty in the Punjab region, given that you've been out there before and presumably will go back there again?
Well, I hope that, more people getting involved in the kind of community work and charity work that we're trying to spread the message of, the more of that can be put out there, that can eventually, hopefully, get rid of these problems. And, coming together and socialising as a community, we hope to just put the fun back in fundraising so more and more people want to be a part of it.
And the fun bit is really important because we've talked about very dire circumstances in India. There is poverty in Northamptonshire, of course there is, but it's a different kind of poverty. Do you foresee any role for the Northampton Punjabi Association in helping others who may not themselves be Punjabi here in Northampton from a perspective of poverty? They say that charity begins at home. I suppose it's a slightly difficult one because you are the Punjabi Association, but in Northampton. So what is local for you?
So our next event, which will be taking place in a few months over in May, we're hoping to get donations for Spectrum, which is a rehabilitation centre over in Dustin, for the people that can't work in environments where there's high technology and things like that, but there's still a place for them to go, whether they have a disability or a speech impediment. There's a place for them to go. So we want to raise funds for them to be able to take their staff out on a social trip, and with that they need a special bus that allows them to go and have fun, just like anyone else would want to go and have fun. So hopefully the money raised will be able to take these people on a fun trip with their colleagues and their friends.
All right, well, here's an invitation or a challenge, depending on how you look at it. When you get back from India, and before you have the event for those people who are going to benefit here in Northamptonshire, come and have a coffee, sit down, come and tell us what it is that you've seen in India, perhaps if you're going to be going back there in the future, what your hopes and aspirations for the future are, and then come and sell like crazy what you're doing here in Northamptonshire, so that we can spread the word about what you're doing here in the county as well as out in the Punjab in India as well.
We'd love to.
Will you do that?
Of course, we'd love to come and have a chat with you and see what we can do further.
Right, that's a deal. Amrit, lovely to talk to you this afternoon. The Northampton Punjabi Association. If people want to find out more and perhaps support you, whether it comes to sponsorship or maybe become part of the association itself, do you have a website? Is there somewhere that people can go and have a look to find out more?
There is. Our website is under construction at the moment, but you can visit us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/NPA community. Drop us a message, say hi, and we'll love to get in touch with you.
Lovely to talk to you this afternoon. Back to work now.
Thanks for having me.
But thanks very much indeed, and all the very best for Monday when you take that big journey. Nice to have you on, Amrit.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your support.
Take care. That's Amrit Mataru, who leaves for India on Monday, part of the Northampton Punjabi Association. Amrit with her father, the founder members of the Punjabi Association for Northampton. And that is not an idle invitation, I hasten to add. We'll get Amrit in to talk about what she's seen in India, what the differences for those eye camps really make, and of course what the NPA is going to be doing here in Northamptonshire, where charity does begin at home. Home is where your heart is. I wonder where Amrit's is right now.
The home of John Griff in the afternoon. BBC Radio Northampton.